There it is.
Yes.
Well done. How do you like your steak?
Not well done.
Not well done. That's good. Good answer. Anything but well done.
Yeah.
You know, I used to work at a restaurant part-time in Arlington called Medium Rare. And shout out Tommy. He owned Medium Rare. Okay. And it was just a great restaurant because it was French inspired. Mm-hmm. So it's just a set menu. Mm-hmm. And you come in and you have the set menu and there's like tiny little modifications you can do. But apart from that, it's what you see is what you get.
That's how it should be though.
You think so? I mean, because they did steak really, really well. Not really well done. They just did it very well. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. No, I mean, I think that there's too many options on menus. That's something I actually look at.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, if you do too many things, then I'm just thinking, they probably just don't do anything well. You know?
Well, and that's true in people, in life as well, right? If you've got your finger in too many pies, if you've got your feet in too many lakes, mm-hmm. I don't know what the expression is, but can you really focus on something if you're doing too many things at once? I find an issue with that sometimes, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, we always talk down on like the jack of all trades, master of none is like a bad thing, but you know, everyone has a Swiss Army knife in their pocket. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there is some utility to that, mm-hmm. but it just depends on, I think, what your goals are. Like, I think of the person who's has a million hobbies, they're usually like some of the more happy people that you're gonna find.
Yeah.
Because they just enjoy the process of the thing. They don't necessarily care about being the best in the world at it. And then certain personalities, though, it's like, no, like I only, like usually that's people that don't have many hobbies. But let's say if they do, it's like, no, I just woodwork. Mm-hmm. And I'm almost like a craftsman in my own right in that hobby. Mm-hmm. Or same people that, like, let's say they're runners. You know, we met at a run club, so.
Yeah. Shout out 515.
515, shout out. Yeah, but anyway, some people it's like, oh, you're a runner, and that's like who you are. Like, if you were to like introduce me to someone, yeah, it might not be the case, but there's some of these people in run club where we're like, oh yeah, no, like that guy, like he's a runner. If like we weren't in run club.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So it just depends on the person.
What role do you think contentment plays in the amount of hobbies that you have or don't have? And is contentment something you go after, or does it just happen if you have the right mix of things? Do you need to strive for contentment?
Yeah, I mean, that's almost like an oxymoron, because it's like strive for contentment. Right. Usually the people that are striving are never content. Yeah. Because they're always moving the target. So once you accomplish the thing, it's the next thing, it's the next thing, it's the next thing. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, and that's what a lot of people on social, especially in the like self-betterment movement, mm-hmm. is you always got to be more, especially with men. That's at least what, you know, I can speak for, because that's what I see. Mm-hmm. But the Chris Williamsons of the world, who definitely helps people like draw them back into figuring out, no, like what is fulfilling, what is meaningful, should you be content? And that reminds me actually of my favorite movie. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Whiplash?
Yeah, for sure.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people like
the drummer.
Yeah. You can say anything you want about it being, you know, not a realistic drumming. Like jazz people are never going to be into it, and that's not why I like it. Like the jazz kind of gives it a good cadence to the movie, but like ultimately, and I actually wrote a paper in my ethics class in undergrad. Shout out to Benedictine. Ethics class, Dr. Pearson. So basically we were talking about happiness and fulfillment, and we could either pick a book or a movie, story, whatever the thing is, mm-hmm. and then we would use one of the people that we went over, so like, you know, Aristotle, Kant, some of these other philosophers, and using their paradigm of happiness, what like would you say the characters in the story are? Were they happy? Were they fulfilled? Mm. And so I actually did it on Whiplash, because that's the whole point of the movie, is basically they're like, screw happiness. Yeah. I want greatness instead. Yeah. And so that's really like what it is what are you willing to sacrifice for that? So you can see an example of Andrew, the main character, Miles Teller. Mm-hmm. he finds young love in the process of him becoming great, and then he rejects it for the sake of pursuing the thing, and then it bites him in the butt because he basically screws up. He has some situations, like when he gets in the car wreck and stuff.
Yeah.
Gets kicked out of the band, and then his life completely falls apart and shatters because he was like, oh, I literally went all in on this.
He went in it for the thing, which is, and stay with me here. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I think we go for something for the advertisement of it. We go for something for the promise of whatever might be ancillary around it. Mm-hmm. We go for a job because of the status that will bring. We go live...
Status? That's really British.
Status? Yeah. Oh, status.
The Brit's coming out of you, dude. The Brit's coming out of you. I like it, sorry.
No, I appreciate that. Maybe I should just pretend to have a British accent the entire time.
Change it.
By the way, cheers.
Cheers, mate. Yeah,
cheers. Wine brought to you by the Wall Street Journal Club. But anyway, I heard a quote recently, and I think this was maybe on LinkedIn, but it was like, if you're content, or maybe this is Angel Huberman, but if you're content, you shouldn't have to post about it. If you're happy, you shouldn't have to post about it. And so whatever it is, I think whether you're going for contentment, whether you're going for happiness, mm-hmm. it can be that you forsake all else, like Whiplash, and you're going for that. But I think it's a good distinction of that you're going for that thing. You're not going for the peripheral,
or the things that it could lead into.
Things that it could lead into, or what others think it could be,
You're not doing something for like the status that you'll get, or mm-hmm. the accolades, or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, what people say, oh, you did that, that means you're cool. Mm-hmm. I don't
like making sure you're doing it for the right reasons, essentially.
Exactly.
Or you hope are the right reasons. Because sometimes you do things, and then you finalize it, and it's not even that you're like moving the target, but you're just like, oh, I was expecting this to be something else. I was expecting to get something out of this that was maybe that I didn't get.
Yeah.
Like it could be like, oh, I want this certain job because it's going to be really fulfilling and it's really going to enjoy this. And then you get to the job and you're doing the job and you're like, this isn't at all what I thought it would be.
And I think as long as we look at almost every step as just a stepping stone towards another growth spot or an inflection point mm-hmm. in our life, I think that is healthy. Because then you're not thinking, well, I've made it. Ray Kroc says, once you're green, you're growing. Once you're ripe, you start to rot. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like a sales tactic, not a sales tactic. It's a common saying in the sales world. I'm not in sales, but that if you think you're at a good spot, that's when you're going to start to fall.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You start getting complacent a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Now, you're building up your own business. You're building up health and wellness space. You're in that arena. Yeah. How'd you get into that?
Yeah. So I never really thought of myself as being in the health space specifically.
Okay.
Now, I graduated high school 10 years ago. So that was kind of in that coming of age and like the years leading up to that. I feel like some people don't have any thought, but I've always been thinking, okay, what's ahead? Because I've always been a person that wants to strive and get the most out of life, and I don't want to live in regret that like, oh, I wish I would have tried something, but never did. Mm-hmm. And so I pretty early on was like really wanting to figure out like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, how can I pursue excellence in whatever way? Mm-hmm. And so I started my career as a firefighter over at Ankeny, north side of Des Moines, and it was really cool because it was like healthcare was a means to an end of becoming a firefighter. So the way that most fire departments work is the ambulance, so the EMS, emergency medical systems, is combined with the fire department. And so you usually work both, especially if you're a new guy, you're probably mostly on the ambulance. Mm-hmm. And so that got me exposed to a very unique side of healthcare. And it made me like certain aspects of it. And there's certain aspects that I was like, it wouldn't be great, such as you're not really building any sort of rapport with patients. You hope to never see them again. You might not ever see them again, you know? And so I like the idea of building a relationship. And the other aspect of that occupation was that I had to stay fit. And I went from, luckily I was right out of basically high school sports on a varsity level. So I was already pretty active, that I could kind of transfer over that into just the next thing in my occupation. And so, because you can just get beat up. Like there's actually a lot of, if you were to actually respond to a fire, a ton of cardio, because you're basically doing cardio in like think of like the hottest summertime in Arizona with like overalls on and like super intense like cold weather gear. Think of it like that. And then you're also like moving things that are heavy, and you have to, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it doesn't happen all that often, but like if you were in a fire or something and you had like a partner go down or something, like can you drag them out? And a lot of people just want to bank on, with my adrenaline, I mean, moms can lift cars off of kids, but you're like, well, I've
heard that expression before.
Right? It's like, well, that's just whatever. Like you're not banking on that, and what we ultimately said is you're paid to be prepared. And so that kind of got me into the healthcare scene a little bit. But then I was like, okay, well, I was getting into like the biohacking and like some of these crazy areas in the health and wellness space before Instagram really like took it off, and there was all these other people. There's just a few like just crazy people. And looking back at it, that at least got me interested in it, because it's like, oh wow, there's ways of being able to, get the most out of your body and get the most out of yourself, and so you can really show up for people better. And so that kind of piqued my interest a bit. And I always knew I wanted to have my own business. And so I thought, how can I enter into the health and wellness space? And I've always enjoyed learning that. And so chiropractic school is the avenue that I decided to go down and enter into that space that way. So.
Wow. You ever thought about being a firefighter for Halloween after your stint in that?
Yeah, just be like, oh yeah, I can just grab something. I haven't actually.
I feel like that would be good. You'd know all the procedures, like, oh no, I'm dying.
Right, yeah. No,
I'll save you.
Right. No, I mean, I'll just keep the mustache.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, if you told me right now that you were still a firefighter, I'd believe you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a compliment.
No, I think it is a compliment. I'll tell you, Cool. Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. Wait, so EMS and firefighter is kind of the same thing?
Usually. Some departments still don't. Like everywhere in the area, as far as I know, is combined. Okay. For the most part.
Gotcha.
But it is very regional. Like in other states or cities, it's just like not common at all.
Yeah. But some places I've heard it's like really hard to get into the space or to get, accepted.
Yeah, you have to.
It's like tougher than the Marines.
It's way harder if you are dead set on a certain city.
Yeah.
Or region.
Sure.
But if you open and expand, and then there's also the pathways. So like becoming an EMT is pretty good, but then being a paramedic, which is even more training, is like a gold card for most people, because it shows that, this person already has this. This is where when I hire people for an academy and they go on a salary, and I spend an entire year up to training them and they can't pass their paramedic, well then it's kind of like, well, I just spent a whole year trying to train you for this job and you can't pass. So if you already have that, it's like, that's probably like one of the hardest parts.
Interesting.
Yeah, crazy. And then it's all civil service stuff too. So it's a point system. So how well did you score in the test? How well did you score in the physical? Physical location does matter. So if like, let's say you're applying to Des Moines and you live in Des Moines, you get a point for that. You get a point for military, minority, all sorts of stuff. I don't remember all the points. But so it is pretty competitive. But now is an easier time than most to get on.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of departments that are actually
looking for people,
and it's still
tough job. You can only be in there for 10, 15 years, probably at the most.
A lot of people will go 20 to 30.
A lot of people will go 20 to 30. Okay.
Yeah, it's based on like retirement, like how most state jobs go and like local municipality jobs.
My old coworker back in DC, he was like, Kenny, you should join the Air Force. He's like, it's the easiest 20-year retirement in the U.S.
Yeah.
Going for 20 years, full retirement. I was like, that tempting.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
Like what you're saying.
I mean, because 20 years
for the right reasons.
Right.
Like you think, oh, this could be a great stepping stone for me. It'll pay for my college.
That's an incredible point exactly for that, because you don't want to go into those thinking, oh, all I have to do is 20 years and then all my needs will be taken care of.
Yeah. Right.
That's a long time to be doing something you don't want to do.
Yeah, and then
even if it's just partially, what you like, that's still not.
Right. And man, I mean, obviously, like, it's not like you're committing the full 20 years right then and there, but as like a 17 or 18-year-old, when you have a recruiter whose sole job is to get as many bodies in as possible and let the military suss them out, that's kind of a big decision to make.
Now, if you really don't know what you want, like if you have no idea what you want to be into, but you like just moving things or being fit or being outdoors and just being active.
And need discipline in your life.
Then would recommend.
Yeah. I know a lot of people where it's really positively changed them for the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of examples of that. But.
Shout out Andrew Hancock, one of my good buddies in the Air Force, just changed his life.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wait, okay, so Benedictine, and then how long in between that and then chiropractor school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my whole first year basically of college, which was right out of high school, was basically fire school, so nothing really transferred there. So I decided I wanted to leave the fire service, at least temporarily, to get my bachelor's. I had to do a 5th year. I spent basically 2 years as a firefighter, and in that time, the 2nd year, I was just taking gen eds, kind of figuring out where I wanted to transfer, what I exactly wanted to do. So I transferred to Benedictine, spent 3 years there, graduated with a degree in exercise science, and then basically had a summer off, and then started in chiro school like that following fall, and that's 3.5 years year round. To kind of condense everything down quite a bit. So now I was in St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, I mean, 3.5 years is still a long time for chiro.
Yeah, it seems
for
long.
A very niche kind of,
Yeah, I mean, it's a doctorate program, and they, like I said, I want to say they say it's like a 5-year program, and then they just put a bunch of credits in.
Okay.
And you have about 2-week breaks between semesters.
Yeah.
And you just keep going.
And you lived on campus and everything, and
no, I mean you live off
you live off campus. Oh yeah, I mean this is like medical school, so it's not
that'd be tough. It's a 22, 23, 24-year-old
just kind of slumming it. And sharing a room with 3 other guys, one room, one bathroom.
But so that was chiro school.
And then after St. Louis, back here.
Yeah.
Not much time. You didn't spend much time in St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole 3.5 years there.
Right. So, but after chiro school.
No, I instantly moved back here. So I'd have been December 24, graduated there, moved back up here. And I knew I wanted to start my own practice, but I wasn't sure if that was a right away thing. If I should basically associate or work for someone for a year or two. And a lot of my mentors were like, it takes time to build a practice. You should probably start sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And so that's what I decided to do, take advice from the people you trust and the people that are where you want to be. And so why I decided Des Moines is where I grew up. So family, the sense of community. I kind of liked the small big town or big small town, however you want to frame it. Glass half empty, glass half full.
Sure.
Being a small city is nice because you can easily connect with people, and it has some of the, not as many of the big city problems, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's growing. There's a lot of potential here for sure.
It is. We've got a new skyscraper going up downtown. It is. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty tall, and it looks pretty nice. So, it's definitely not getting any smaller. Des Moines is.
Yeah.
We need to fix a lot of potholes, though. I'll tell you what. I ride my skateboard around, and the potholes need fixing.
That's probably jostling. Did you ever fall off?
Not here, no. I think I've only actually had any type of major fall on my skateboard in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah?
I got such a bad sunburn.
I thought you were about to say something else. I mean, because most people think of Myrtle, they're just like, oh, dirty Myrtle.
Yeah, it is. That was back before, you could really search a place, I guess.
Oh,
it was
really?
let's go to South Carolina.
Yeah.
heard of Myrtle Beach. You want to go there? Sure. Let's go. There's definitely prettier spots in South Carolina.
There are. I mean, yeah, Charleston is obviously the one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But Charleston's like, there's so many different parts of it, and then some parts are just like way overbuilt up, and so they're just crazy expensive.
It'd be a cool spot to go though. There's so much history there that we don't.
I mean, I've been to Charleston a few times, and it is definitely worth your time going a few times, because it is very historic. I've heard that South Carolina is getting a lot of what North Carolina has gotten over the past few years, and now it's kind of bleeding down into South Carolina, which is great. Like manufacturing, BMW is putting a ton of manufacturing in the northwestern side. And then the middle area is more like it's less like tech manufacturing, and it's more like I don't know, other types of companies are setting up bases there, and then the eastern side is still like a little bit good farming and a lot more developments, and I mean South Carolina is really expanding as well.
I know a few people that moved there that aren't from there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it has a lot going for it on paper.
Yeah.
So, shout out to South Carolina.
Coastline, plenty of different climates.
Pretty warm.
Warm. Yeah. Not maybe really the mountains that North Carolina has, but still. Anyway, yeah. So that's the only place I've fallen off my skateboard. I was like, South Carolina. But yeah, Des Moines has that nice, big, small city vibe. And it's funny, when you're talking about starting your own practice, I thought about real estate agents, because that's actually my younger brother. He's trying to get into commercial real estate. Mm-hmm. And when I say trying to get into, he's actually worked for a commercial real estate firm for a while. Mm-hmm. Actually, he's in a tertiary type of environment. But he's done accounting work for a long time, and then going more heavily into actual commercial real estate. But when I got my real estate license, it was like, it takes like a long time and a good amount of effort. So it's like, I never really took off, but it's just nice to have in the back pocket. And it's one of those things where like, I don't know how many things I can do at once, how many things I can split my attention doing. Mm-hmm. And I have that kind of drive to just, maybe it's an oxymoron saying a drive to be content, mm-hmm. but I have a drive to be active, but actively content. Mm-hmm. So, I think the freedom that comes with having your own practice is probably really nice. Yeah. But there's probably a lot of stress with it. I mean, I've been to your office, and it's, really nice.
Yeah.
You've got new flooring and paneling up and good equipment, and I mean, you're a proper setup.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. Thanks for that, but it was one of those things where I really thought, okay, like, what is the practice that I want to build? Mm-hmm. And like I hate hospitals. They're necessary, mm-hmm. but you almost
urgent cares.
Yeah, you almost leave feeling worse than when you come in, even if you get your issue solved. And so I wanted a place that seemed like a place of healing, a place where people could slow down a little bit. And someone really looked forward to going there, and then they feel better when they leave. And so part of that, it's like, okay, well, what can help drive healing? Which is a really physiological, scientific answer, but then there's also all these other components, kind of the intangibles, which are the things there's plants here, there's life here, there's sunlight, mm-hmm. there's natural, earth tones. All those things, I think, are things that people can look at. And I feel inspired a lot by coffee shops, because those are places that people, the really good ones, look forward to going into. And another huge part of where I think that other healthcare clinics don't do great is in hospitality. Yeah. So, everyone's had that experience where you walk in, you have an appointment, and you check in at the front desk. The front desk worker just is already irritated for whatever reason. Not at you yet, but you think that they are. They don't even look at you. They're like, what time's your appointment? And basically they make your life even more inconvenient, of just showing up there. Mm-hmm. And you might have a lot that you're bringing to whatever that appointment is. It could just be a checkup, but it could be something more, Mm-hmm. And so being able to have an inviting thing that you're walking into from a visual standpoint, from even like aroma standpoint. Like, you don't want to make sure it doesn't smell bad. You want to make sure that it doesn't just smell like a sterile hospital either. And so like all those components are things that are ways that I want to kind of think outside of the box for. But have it still be a place where people don't just think like, oh, I'm just like going into this like oasis spa, med spa. Like I still wasn't fully med spa either. I want people to think, no, I'm still in an actual legit high level healthcare environment too.
Professional environment, professional space, yeah.
Exactly. So I still want to be professional, but I also wanted it to be really inviting too at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less gypsy, less, Eastern healing type of just like like with the gongs and things like that.
Yeah, right. Like it's like, no, I'm not just gonna like read your horoscope and like tell you what's going on wrong with you. But at the same time, I don't know, there's something about that. Like it's not that it's the power of placebo. Like I think it's a real thing. Like having plants and having these other things around you, like it definitely puts you in a space where you can actually heal.
Yeah.
Because like I can't just force healing on somebody.
No.
They have to ultimately like believe the care that they're going to receive is going to work. At least have like hope in that. And it's really hard. Like honestly, like skeptical people, which a lot of people that have chronic pain have probably already done other things for it. Like they're the people that are probably going to be like the most skeptical.
Yeah.
And so it's not that you have to just like blindly believe and like, oh yeah, just believe me, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
It's not that at all. But you do have to have at least some sort of disposition of, no, like I do think that like I could get better here. And even if I don't, this guy's got my back. That's the other component. A lot of patients are just, if something doesn't work or they have some sort of confusion, they just feel like they have to figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
Versus, no, I'm not gonna like leave any stone unturned.
We have a
if you were to
process.
come in for low back pain, something that's like, and you're not getting the instant results that you're expecting. Well, first off, like, did I educate you well on like what to expect? Because I'm basically walking you or like the patient. Think of it like a foggy bridge, where it's a place that they maybe haven't gone, but it's a place that I'm used to. It's a guide almost, right? And so either I haven't educated you very well, or for whatever reason, like you're getting discouraged, getting disheartened, whatever the thing is, and then you just kind of fall off. And then a lot of people, especially if you're really high volume, you are already having low bandwidth as a provider, people just kind of fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
And so instead, it's like, well, no, how can I actually like walk with you and accompany you?
How do you maintain that focus? How do you kind of reset after everyone? I mean, and for an example, for an instance, I was hearing someone saying like, a very popular person, maybe is at an event or just needs to go to the bathroom, just walking through something, and 50 people want to say hi to them, and they were like, well, I try to reset after every person because they're just being nice, and it's like I'd much rather them. It's I can't really complain because they're being nice and they like me, and that's why they want to say hi or things like that. So it was a mess up with the microphone, so we had to get that back up. But yeah, how do you have to reset with everyone, and that's probably a process. It's kind of like every time a cop pulls someone over. No,
maybe, I don't know.
The Bubby.
Right. So yeah, I think that it's easy to like, let's say you go, your first appointment is, it's a patient. The case isn't going as well as you're wanting. It's kind of difficult for whatever reason. And then you have like your next patient who's actually kind of doing well. Like, how do you transfer and have that reset? And a lot of it is, I think just with time. 'Cause like, I feel like the people that would probably have the hardest time of this would be someone who's like a counselor or something, where their job is literally like, no, like our job is to like get deep and go to these places that you probably don't want to go so you can get past something. And I think, oh, how's that reset? And some of it is, okay, the system you create. So like for me, if I'm going to really like walk with people well and really help manage their case well, even if it isn't going well, like if you just have so many people that you're working with, you just kind of lose that bandwidth, and then you can kind of get burnt out, and then you can't really help anybody, including yourself. So part of it's having that system of, okay, what is like what I'm actually capable of? What is my actual capacity? And then also, it's not it's not completely selfish, and it's not giving less of yourself by like having still healthy boundaries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so you have to be able to establish that, because it's the same thing. Like after a long day of, let's say it was just one case after the next, just hard. Well, I have to still find a way to reset for like my family or my friends. Like we're recording this at the end of the day. Like I can't let whatever just happened before then like bleed into that. And also like some days it might though. And it's okay to be honest about that and to not deny that. You know, if I were to like show up and we're hanging out or something.
Yeah. It's,
be like, hey, how's your day?
It's a tough day at work. You know?
Yeah. Be like, no, sometimes it does bleed in. Like if it is heavy, like just call it out for what it is. Because that's lightning in and of itself. But no, one of my mentors would always say this. He's like, at the place I was at, like most of the appointments were about 15 minutes or so, at least with one doctor, before they get passed off to someone else. And it was like, you have to like basically be a 15-minute, like every 15 minutes is a reset. Hit the reset button. And you have to make sure that like you're just so present. And one of his biggest sources of inspiration of that is this book that came out probably like 25 years ago at this point, called The Power of Now. And I've only ever like listened to snippets of it, so I haven't read the whole book in its entirety. But basically the whole idea of it is like, okay, we either, most of the time, our minds are consumed by something that's already happened that we can't change, or something in the future that's probably not going to actually happen because we can't really predict it. But really the only thing that we have right now is this moment. And so how can you have that power of presence, which I think is one of the superpowers. The most successful people in the world are so present in what they do. And so you have to practice that a lot. Just have that reset. Like I think of Ted Lasso, you know, be a goldfish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you have a bad play.
That's so
like
true.
Don't be thinking about that previous play.
The goldfish.
Like be a goldfish. Like you're right here, right now.
You know, Scotty Scheffler, he always says the phrase, all you can do is execute. All you can do is execute. And you can see in his demeanor, you know, if he has a terrible shot, he might go, but then like literally you can see it wipe off his face in the next 2 to 3 seconds. And you have to do that to be a real game player, to bring your A game. You have to let it be a goldfish, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's not to say that, because I think one of the tendencies would then be to just like reject what you're feeling. Like if you did just come from a hard case and you're on to the next patient, well, yeah, I don't know. Like you can't just keep leaving things unaddressed. It's like the junk drawer. Like I'll just put it in the junk drawer. Put it in the junk drawer. Right. But yeah, you have to address some of these things if it is, you know.
I think some meditation every day, some just type of silence, some type of, whether it is prayer or whether it's just kind of silence or just a breathing exercise, either eyes open, eyes closed. I do a variety of different things, and I don't do it every day, but I really should, because there's really a lot of studies to show that it can increase your metabolic health and just your overall energy levels and demeanor, attitude, and outlook on life. But that can really help, just kind of because your brain processes things. I mean, sleep is by far the number one thing, because you know your brain goes through everything that happened during the day when you're sleeping, all the different cycles. But then just a little bit of, you know, kind of conscious going through what happened during the day through meditation is really good. Yeah,
no, it totally is. And I think that you should have some sort of meditative practice. Like for me, it's prayer in a variety of different forms, but at the very beginning of your day. No, that's good. It has to be. Or else it's just like with exercise. It's like with any other sort of habitual routine you want to establish. You have to start at the beginning of the day. It sets the tone. And so... and then you can like sometimes like contemplate on it. Like if something did come up in prayer or meditation or whatever, like you have something to kind of gnaw on a little bit in your day. Not that you're preoccupied with it, but that you know, can actually reflect and process it. But yeah, it's so important. And especially like with all the distractions that we have, it's even harder to be present. Like it's not even that you're necessarily thinking about the future or the past. You're just like absent-minded. The ability to focus is lessened. And so that meditation, that prayer, especially at the beginning of the day, like it has that reset effect to it. And I think we think people are watching a lot more than they are. Because I heard another quote recently. It was no
no one's coming to save you also implies that no one's going to stop you. And obviously take that with a grain of salt, because eventually, if you do some crazy things, people will come and stop you.
Yeah, right.
But the idea is that people don't really notice what you're doing as much as you do. And they're not going to notice your failures like you do.
No.
Even your successes, and unfortunately successes, I think a great, I just done, wow, such an amazing thing. People are like, oh yeah, that's cool. So
it works both ways.
It works both ways. So, but what's kind of nice about that is that you can kind of keep to yourself as much as you want, and things here and there people will pick up, but you mainly just go for what is, like what we were saying before, contentment, and that's kind of amazing. It's kind of awesome. I think if you really ingrain that into your brain, it's like no one's going to stop you, and no one's coming to save you. No one's going to stop you in moderation.
Yeah. I think that, and this is more so just my frame of mind with it. This isn't like an actual definition thing.
Yeah.
But I think that fulfillment's a better word than contentment. Because contentment, you almost think of just like, oh, you're just kind of stuck in your comforts. You're just chasing comfort, which I've never really known anyone who's grown without discomfort. Now, that doesn't mean we should change or go after discomfort for the sake of it, just assuming. It's like, oh, I'm just going to pursue hard things because all hard things should be worth pursuing.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the case. Like, it's really hard to, I don't know, like think of like whatever thing you're like, well, does it actually lead you to what your actual goal is?
You don't want to just get broken up with just to say,
have a character arc.
a character arc.
Yeah.
I really want to grow in life, so I want to have like a really awesome relationship and then have them dump me.
yeah, exactly. If it's like, no, like I'm not purposely like torturing myself, which a lot of people,
masochistic,
the David Goggins of the world, that's what people sometimes get, is, oh no, I need to suffer just for the sake of suffering, because all suffering is going to lead to something. It's like, well, no, like it's okay to have some comforts and stuff,
Yeah. But David Guy, he's invincible.
Yeah, okay. But fulfillment, that's the different thing, because that could be like a person who's still striving. Yeah. Because you're enjoying, like if you are enjoying the process of the thing, well then you'll always be fulfilled regardless of outcome. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Life's a process. Well, I appreciate it, man. This has been great. Impact Health Institute right here in Des Moines, or I guess Johnston / Urbandale area. This has been great. Cheers. Cheers to health. Cheers to good conversations. Absolutely.